Hi guys, welcome to Travel with Austin. I'm Austin. Today I am here with Dawson at the Madison Seminary in Madison, Ohio. Me and Dawson are going to be ghost hunting here tonight, but before we do, we figured to give you a tour around the building. So first we're going to start off in the newest section here. This is the connector corridor that was built in 1959. It is also where your base camp will be. So here is the base camp area, which is very nicely decorated, as you can see. And does have a piano in it as well. If you're interested, off to the side, they do have like their shop area, and there is a little area back here for when, they do events and stuff. And now we're gonna go into the main area. Thank you very much, sir. So this is the connecting corridor. Again, this was built in 1959. It is the newest section. But we are going to go ahead and head into the oldest section as we begin to talk about this place. So the Madison Seminary, if you're like me, you see seminary as like a religious term kind of. But the Madison Seminary was actually education for people past 6th grade. People didn't want to send their kids away, so they would bring them here to the seminary, and basically both men and women could get education past 6th grade here. It's actually kind of unique because at the time, teaching both genders in a single class was not common, but at Madison, they did it anyway. So they were kind of trailblazers in that way. Now, during its time as a school, it was actually originally in a wooden building, and this brick building that we are currently in, which they called the Civil War building, fittingly enough, was built in 1857. Now, these rooms we are in right now, they were originally classrooms, and they were actually much larger than this. So, you can see we do have like little classroom setups that they made in here with old desks and stuff. But originally, these rooms were much bigger. However, in the 1900s, when this got a new use, they redid the floor plan, basically. And because of that, there are now smaller rooms. So let's go ahead and walk around some more. And this building is great, honestly, just the way it's set up. I will say that me and Dawson kind of agreed that this side, not really spooky, not really having the spooky vibes, but the other side we'll get to definitely does. Now, the old wooden building wasn't torn down originally, so when they built this building, the wood building, which is of course no longer here, actually stayed and served as dorms. So they did say it was behind this building, so theoretically it would be out past here once upon a time. And if you live too far away to walk or to ride a horse to get here, you could stay here. The first floor was for men and the second floor was for women. Now, it was a beloved institution by the people who lived in the area and operated for 40 years. So people who came here as a kid also ended up sending their kids here. But then came the issue of the Civil War. That left the school struggling, and during the time, many of the students here were sent away. Some of them, of course, never would return. And this left the school struggling. Now, interestingly enough, after the Civil War, in the 1870s, the student population here was increasing. It was actually going back to pre-Civil War levels, and everything was starting to go back to normal. But the striking blow was that Ohio decided to change its school laws, and by 1881, this building was closed, all the students had left, and it was no longer a learning institution. That is the end of the 40 years that this building had, but it wasn't the end of its lifespan. You see, by the mid-1880s, the Women's Relief Corps decided to choose the building as a place for former Civil War nurses, widows, and other women family members of war vets, such as daughters and the like. And they actually built a building here called the Ohio Cottage, which we will take a look at shortly. But first, as we look at the basement of the Civil War building, it is said that this was originally used for the music room. Now, I imagine probably had either more than one music room, or, there were other uses here as well. See, at one point, this was a conference room, but that is not its original use, obviously. And a lot of the doors down here are locked because this area is older and not in the best condition. There is a bathroom here. Dawson already had some weird feelings in here, so...
Yeah. Walked in there, and as I walked out, I just felt like we gotta go.
So now we are going to enter back into the connection area, and this is going to connect us to the Ohio Cottage. This was built by the Women's Relief Corps, and it was built in 1891. So again, this is where the people, the women, I should say, who were daughters of war veterans, widows, former nurses, and even the former Civil War spy, Elizabeth Stiles, came and stayed, and where many of them tragically died. Now, as we enter into this area, we are going to do our best to find a light switch, but fail. Talk about one of the legends here as we go around. So, first, we do have this room right here, which you can see just kind of filled with old equipment, piles of dirt and containers, and, old stuff in here, which is very cool and nice.
That's the dumb waiter.
Oh, and there's the bottom of the dumb waiter.
You can see all the way up.
And, yep, that will go all the way up to the attic.
That's cool.
So, in here we have what looks to be a cooler of some sort. You can see there was a light here for it. And then we have the body room, which does have a working light, thankfully. So this is one of the legends here at Madison Seminary, and basically, as I understand the story, shortly after acquiring this place, Adam was told that there could possibly be a body buried in this room. Now, from the story, as I know it, originally the police came with 2 cadaver dogs in training. They searched the whole building, and then they came down here and they both alerted to this area. Then they brought a already trained cadaver dog who didn't walk through the whole building and just came straight here and alerted to the area. And because of this, and the rumor that there could be someone buried here, Adam got ground penetrating radar. It did indicate that there was something down here. You can see they broke the floor and they dug a bit, but they did not find anything. Now, they are, from what I understand, slowly trying to dig out further that way to make sure they weren't just off with the radar or worried that it might be deeper. I am not sure exactly how often they are doing digging to check for that, but it is one of the prime stories here. And then we're going to go back out of the basement section of this area. And we're going to properly enter the Ohio Cottage. So here we are in the Ohio Cottage. And now this area, of course, was originally for those displaced women. They also were in the other cottage as well, but this building was built for them. Now, of course, it had many different uses, and although it started off as this building for these women, it actually was part of a hospital, an infirmary, an asylum, and in the 1960s, it housed honor inmates, which were basically the inmates that were considered good enough that they could live somewhere like here. And this is the building that both me and Dawson agree is definitely more spooky and has more spooky vibes, even though it is newer. So, as you can see, we can walk around here. They do have a lot of furniture in these rooms, and it's really great. Like this old TV here, old record player. It's just really cool how they went and redecorated a lot of this. And a lot of these rooms are also interconnected. So, you can see here we have an old bedroom set up. And another old bedroom. Also some old clothes laid out. Now, I will say, on this side, a lot of the mirrors are covered, and I have to admit, that gives me the creeps. Now, this place actually continued to be in use for various different things until, I believe it was the 1980s, when it was sold back to the county. And basically, after it was sold back to the county, it got in the hands of a private buyer, and he owned the property from, I believe, the 1990s, late 90s, until 2009 when he died. His son did take care of the property, but ultimately sold it to Adam Kimmel, who now owns the property. And if you don't recognize that name, he also owns Fairfield County Infirmary. So he has, of course, been putting tons of effort into this building and is the reason it can be open to the public for ghost hunts and other events. Now, this building is smaller than the Fairfield County Infirmary, but it does have a big feel to it. It also does not have working lights in every room like the Fairfield County Infirmary does. So you may notice me trying different switches and stuff, and then them not working.
That's like an updated light switch.
So, as we continue on, I'm just going to point out more things, because I want you guys to see the full area here and get a sense of where we will be ghost hunting tonight. Plus, I find that if you are going ghost hunting here, you're probably going to find this very helpful, because I love to look at a tour of a place before I go ghost hunting. So, here is the coffin. It's pretty much a rule that every haunted place needs a coffin now. This is a location they call the Devil's Room. And essentially, it is all mirrors. Since mirrors are supposed to be portals, This is supposed to be like the ultimate portal. Everything in here is a mirror except for the floor. So yeah, they call that, or at least I've heard people call that, the Devil's Room. And oh, Devil's Toy Box. Only one person at a time. Interesting.
No, porn, guys.
Does it say that? Oh my gosh, it does. Oh.
Materials on the bottom.
Wow. You know, if they put that warning up, there's a reason. Now, we do have some areas here that are designed like old hospital type areas and old kitchen type areas. Oh, this would be like a chair that they would strap someone down in to feed them. Wow. So some of the people that would be here would be women who were like suffering from dementia and other ailments like that. And see here, we have some old photos. As Dawson pointed out earlier, there is a plate with the Queen on it from her coronation. She is now dead, if you guys didn't know. I'm very sorry to pass along that news. Here is the part that is shaped like a medical office. So, this is pretty cool, honestly. And I'm guessing this is meant to be the waiting room. And another old TV here. Let's see here. Please, minor rad adjustments, only TV channels are. That's very helpful. Now, obviously, since Adam has owned this much longer, there's a lot more historical and antique furniture in here. And this place has received a lot more improvements. See, this is just creepy having the dress out on the bed like that. There are record players all over. We have not found one that works yet, but we might find one eventually. And let's see. And this room is like a dining room. All of this furniture is honestly just gorgeous. Like, look at that. And Dawson gets easily distracted, if you guys did not know. So now as we head up another floor, we're going to the floor with one of the most prominent hauntings here. Essentially, this room is said, or this floor has a room that is said to be haunted by a spirit that may be a little girl, or maybe something. That's a car. Or maybe pretending to be a little girl. So that's fun. We always love that. So, again, we have various bedrooms set up here. There are different areas that are storage or off limits. You know, different bathrooms and stuff. Not everything is going to be top of the line spooky, but a lot of it is. As you can see, we have some bedrooms. Again, all the mirrors are covered on this side. I don't know why that is. It makes me very uncomfortable. So, this bedroom is filled with military stuff. I call this the general's room. I don't actually know the significance of it because unfortunately we could not get a tour. Their tour guide was unable to make it. Now, we're going to visit her room last. We're just going to take a look. You know, the other rooms here.
Oh, did you notice the hinges?
Oh yeah, they used to be really ornate with stuff like that.
That's cool.
It's It's unfortunate. My house is very old, but our hinges are not ornate at all. Old bedroom area. You may also notice these, I think every room, if not all of them, most of them, do have a thing here for them to filter air in and out. Got this spooky little guy here. And now we have the room of the girl ghost. So this is, well, this painting is just funny. I like to show this. So basically, the idea here, from as I understand it, was that they made contact in this room with a spirit saying that it was a little girl. They were asking it what it wanted, and it said it wanted money. So people leave it money.
I don't know if it's just this end of the building, but it's freezing in this room.
And there's also lots of dolls, which are always a great time. And our camera that was sitting up here died already, so that's fun. So I do not know why they think that she may be a demon. The only thing I've really heard is that she asked for money, and, you know, I guess a little girl wouldn't ask for money. I don't know. But I do trust the people who are here more often than me. Ooh. So, can definitely enter in here. See, we got a nice little office set up. We have the boy in blue painting. I don't know who this is, but I assume it's also supposed to be like a haunted painting. Yeah, and little doll. And again, on this side, of course, are going to have more rooms. You can see that a lot of them have bed frames or various things in them, but not the full thing. It does look like there used to be walls between some of these that were ripped out. Whether those were ripped out by Adam or former owners, I don't know. Let's see here. I think there's one more room on this side that we can go into. So yes, one more bedroom, and then you can see the fire escape. And yeah, the back area here. Now, in this room, we have a whole bunch of interesting things happening. So first of all, it's probably not going to show up on camera, but there is water on the floor in here, and it is pooling specifically around this doll, which is kind of weird. But the doll itself does not look wet at all. It's obviously from coming in from up there, but it's kind of weird. There is an old chair here. I believe they said this was an old dentist chair. And then we have this structure back here. And from what I understand, Adam does not know what this structure is. It just came with the building. And obviously, it was most likely built in this room because there would have been no way to transport it. And he just decided to keep it in here. So we also have a little table, and we have another doll. And now we are going to go up to the final part of our tour tonight. And that is the attic. And let me tell you, in advance, this is my least favorite part of the building, but it is also one of the most active parts. I was looking at the exit sign, not the... Okay. Here we go. So, the attic has two sections to it. And there is the section that I quite like, which I think we deserve a little light. Yes. And that is this section over here. It is kind of like a large day room type area. And it's a wide open. You can see we have some board games, a bike, the top of the dumbwaiter. Well, one of the dumbwaiters. I think there's multiple in the building. And at the end here, there is a bed. I'm not sure if people actually stayed up here, if this was just a day room situation. Of course, we do have the old wheelchairs. Then we also have this, and maybe someone can tell us exactly what this is. We aren't sure. It only lets you turn it one way, which is interesting. So if anyone knows what this is, let us know. And then unfortunately, we have to go to the very haunted and active part of the attic, which conveniently is separated from the rest of the attic. Almost like they knew it would be bad. So, what?
I just can't tell if that was us talking on the ground.
Hopefully it was just us. So, my camera went all wacky. There we go. So in here we do have various rooms. I don't know if any of the lights work on this side. Oh, red light. So this is like a doctor's setup. This room is actually just storage, even though it says bathroom.
My burp.
Oh, Jesus.
My burp. I'm so sorry.
We have a bunch of small rooms up here. Again, these are like attic rooms, so they're small. They have weird corners.
That's all that was good at.
And finally, we have the hallway. So, this hallway, in particular, is pretty much the most haunted location here, or at least it's the one that I have seen people get the most consistent activity from. Basically, at the end of this hallway, there are two rooms, and people say that they will sit in the hallway in the dark, and they will see people peeking out of the rooms, hear noises, things like that. I won't lie, this hallway absolutely terrifies me. Dawson can tell you the energy on this side is completely different.
Completely different.
Of course, all these little rooms have like wheelchairs in them, which is terrifying.
Right, and these rooms are yours.
Yeah, so these rooms are much smaller. For the sake of showing you guys, we will show you, but
not my favorite.
They're very small. Like the odds of someone staying in them is not good. And if they were, they probably weren't the most liked, I would say, since all the other rooms are bigger.
Yeah, not to make it seem like you put somebody in that room, like we were.
Yeah, so. Okay, sorry, my camera cut off. But again, we did not get a proper history. Just to give you guys an idea, real quick, though. This is what it looks like down that hallway. Terrifying. So, that is our tour of the Madison Seminary here in Madison, Ohio. Watch out for our ghost hunting video here. It is certainly going to be a night. We can kind of already tell the energy in this place is a bit off the walls in certain areas. So that is all we have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.